How many kids do you have?
Oh, to be honest, I have 20.
No, you don't. 20. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Do you have 20 kids?
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions. Thank you.
You heard correctly, 20 children, and he is 40 years old. Now, this man, he is an habitual offender. We have pages of crime after crime after crime after crime. You know, Iowa, they have a reputation, and I'll call it that, just a myth, that they are tough on crime. They are not. Their sentences are gimmicks. Their parole board is a joke, and we're about to see that play out. So with that, let's jump in.
How this works, I'll start off by asking you to describe the crime in detail, what was going on in your life at that time, what brought you to prison. After that, my colleagues and myself might have some questions for you. After we complete our questioning, I'll ask you if you have anything for the board that you would like us to know or that you've prepared. Then we'll go into what's called deliberation, just basically mean we're going to make a decision. At that time, you can listen, but don't participate. Once we made a decision, I'll come back to you and explain that decision best I can, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what I want to do is have you start off by describing what was going on that day, what happened that day that brought you back to prison.
Basically, I was on drugs, and I made a poor decision. I wasn't thinking properly, and wind up doing some things that I regret.
What kind of drugs were you doing?
Marijuana.
Anything else? Any alcohol?
No alcohol.
No alcohol. Did you ever have an alcohol problem at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how did you defeat that alcohol problem?
Going to classes for it, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been sober from alcohol?
It's been a couple years.
If you are an alcoholic or were an alcoholic, you are an alcoholic today.
Right. So you have not been down that long, and what can you tell us about you being ready, because you're a habitual offender and you're about ready to discharge? Do you feel like you're ready, that you have the tools to succeed?
Yes, sir. I think this time I actually got it through my head this time, and I feel like I can better succeed out there and do everything because I got the proper the guidance. My mom is going to help me out.
Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being high, what do you think what do you think realistically would be your chances of reoffending coming back to prison?
None, zero.
Why?
I refuse to come back here. I do not want to come back to prison, sir. Excuse me.
I understand. And do you feel that you can invest in yourself better than you have thus far?
Of course, sir.
And what's your 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan is to be hopefully living in a nice house, having a good job, and taking care of my kids best way I can.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, to be honest, I have 20.
No, you don't. 20. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Do you have 20 kids?
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Renee, do you have any questions?
I don't think I do. I think you answered my questions. So Dana, did you have any?
I just got a couple. So Nevada, Missouri, that's where mom lives.
Yes, sir.
Part of the release plan. What kind of support system beyond mom do you have down there? Because we have a storied history of crimes dating back to, oh boy, as an adult back to 2003, and it's not like one here, one there. It's pretty much every year, sometimes multiple times a year. So obviously, mom's going to be key in this. But what else do you have down there in terms of support that you know of that you can lean on?
I also have my brothers, and I got my mom's husband. My mom's husband said he's going to help me out too.
Okay, what are the employment opportunities down there for you? What's going to keep you busy and keep you keep you out of jail down there?
Well, I already talked to my mom and I told her I was gonna work 2 jobs to keep me busy, to keep my mind off of everything, as far as getting in trouble wise.
And you know but you don't know what those jobs are yet?
Oh, yes, sir. Right now, she put me in a job where cooking Mexican food and also working at Walmart.
Okay. And this time's going to be different. What have you learned through your programming since you've been incarcerated that's going to make this time different? Because it appears to me that the odds are stacked against you unless you come away with something since you've been locked up. So what can you tell me?
Obviously, I took active, and active taught me how to use the pause system, which basically that is if I'm ever getting into like any type of trouble or I feel like I'm getting into trouble, to take a step back, think about it, and reflect on how it will reflect on what's going to happen on if I make a poor decision.
That's something you've learned while through the programming while in prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't think I have any further questions.
Renee?
I don't, thank you.
Hey, Mr. Reed. Questions were limited. At this time, if you have anything you would like the board to know, you have the floor, okay?
Pretty much the only thing I'd like the board to know is that I've changed my mind on everything that I was doing out there as far as being bad wise and getting myself into trouble. And basically, I'm a rechanged man. I'm gonna step up and do what I have to do to take care of my kids.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So at this time, we're going to go on what I told you, deliberation meeting. We're going to make a decision. So just sit back and listen. When we're done making that decision, I'll come back to you and explain, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Colleagues, thoughts?
I can go first since I didn't ask any questions. It looks like we are short of time. We don't have a lot of time left, and he's done all the things we've asked him to do. He's completed all his programming. He's not gotten in any trouble while he's been inside. It looks like he's got some support where he's headed. He's got jobs lined up. He has, he can articulate what he learned in his active program, which is really important because that's what he was required to do. He does continue to have some substance use issues. He will have to continue working in that space in order to be successful. So that's going to be on him to keep that under control. But I would recommend the parole to discharge to his mom's house. And there would be no codes because it's parole to discharge.
D30? You mean?
D30.
Dana?
Yeah, thank you. I agree with that. I feel like he's got everything laid out, everything in place that needs to be in place, and then it's going to fall on him to make a conscious effort to take advantage of all that to be successful. Now, I understand though, if we go with a parole to discharge, there won't be any codes. But hopefully he's reflecting on the fact that substance abuse has been a problem in the past, which led to numerous arrests. But it's not just using it, it's taking the time and effort and caution to not be in those places where others may be using it. But those are personal decisions he's going to make, going to have to make, or, he's already a habitual offender. He'll be right back where he started. So he's got a lot of work to do. He has the pieces in place to be successful. So I'm going to agree with the parole to discharge.
Thank you, Dana. Okay, Mr. Reed, I just want to tell you that in processing this decision that we've made, we were able to look at institutional records, risk assessment, criminal history, substance abuse history, treatment history, and your release plan, and anything else that was submitted along with that. My colleagues are in agreement with the DOC recommendation to discharge you, considering the limit of the time limitations we have. I'm in agreement as well. So we will be moving you forward to discharge, okay?
Yes, sir.
And basically, it is our hope that we don't see you no more. I mean that in a good way.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good day, and that will conclude this interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go out and do well.
Yes, ma'am.
I swear, this Iowa parole board, they are clowns. They are actually clowns. I mean, do you guys realize that he absconded? He ran away. He actually made it to Crime Stoppers Most Wanted when he ran away in June 15th of 2023.
No.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, Laquoie.
And he's wanted by Rock Island Police for aggravated domestic battery, Scott County for a parole violation, and a laundry list of things out of Davenport, including robbery.
Okay, so we've got lots of people that want to get him into custody. So if you recognize him or the other wanted suspect, or you know anything about the arson or the shooting in Rock Island, you guys can always help with some money and go ahead and call 309-762-9500.
So they had to catch him, lock him back up, and what do? They just like take his word for it. Oh, you're sober now. Oh, he took programs, so he's better. What are you gonna do to say? I just don't want it anymore. They don't ask him anything. They'll say, well, what did you learn? What are you gonna do? Do you have any? Are you gonna go like? Do you have a sponsor? Are you gonna do like? What's your plan? No, they don't ask any questions. Oh, you're gonna be sober. Okay. Parole for you, Jack. 20 children by the age of either he's got like super venomous, I don't know if the word's venomous, but like why? How is that? Why do they not even care to ask him about that? Wouldn't any parole board be like, wait a minute, what? I can't even imagine how much you're gonna have a house one day. Yeah, okay. Like what would it cost in child support? 20 children. Why? Who's having children? I just don't even understand. These are things that and the parole board doesn't even bring it up. Like, they don't even care. And if you're watching this for the first time, man, dude, that parole board job's not to care. That no. I've seen thousands of parole board hearings, and the parole boards, depending on the state, they have a right to ask. See, they are trying to understand who the person is. Are they ready to get out? And will they succeed when they get out? It's not, prison is not only about protecting the public. It's not only about retribution for what you had done, but it's also about rehabilitation. And if you're sending someone out that you don't think is rehabilitated, which, let's be frank, there is no chance that he is. He does not have the tools. He is not even admitted to having the problems that he has. And they're just going to go, oh, yeah, sure. We'll see him back. I am willing to, I'd ask the parole board, would you bet? What would you bet on it that you won't see him back? At least hold him accountable, do some insight, do some digging. Nothing. It's just nothing. They drive me nuts. Let me share with you. This guy, he's an habitual offender. In Louisiana, he would have been gone for life. Let me share with you what Sir Richard has on this. This tab. I don't want to see that tab. All right, let's just go through some of these crimes. DV 2011. Theft, June 6, 2014. Harassment, 10/6/2014. Fugitive from justice. So it's not the first time he ran, is it? 2/13/2015. Fugitive from justice again, away from Illinois, 4/1/2016. Theft, 11/22/2016. Eluding, 11/29/2016. This is redundant. 12/1/2016. Theft, 12/13/2016. These are crimes of someone who has a serious addiction problem. Operating a vehicle without owner's consent, dismissed. Abuse, assault, dismissed. Why not? Dismiss it. 1/30/2017. He got 15 years in prison for this one. And we know better. We know that these sentences are gimmicks, because he was paroled to work release and absconded in 2023. So that 15-year sentence, it was a gimmick. He did, I don't know how much of that he did. 5 years of it, not 4 years of it. 4/13/2017. And by the way, this is a really good point. when they parole people to work release, when they parole sex offenders and dangerous felons, how many Iowa parole hearings have we seen where the victim is crying and saying, please don't release me? And they say, we'll release you to work release. Don't worry, they're under supervision. It's not like Louisiana work release. It's not, it's basically being free, and it's just you're mandated to work. And we see absconsions left and right. It's happening every day. Just on today's docket, I think we covered 4. So just keep that in mind. Whenever they say we're releasing the work release, there's no comfort for the victim. Burglary, 7/3/2017, DV, 7/3/2017, robbery, 8/25/2017. Dare I go on? Theft, 3/23/2018, fugitive from justice, 5/19/2018, assault causing bodily injury, 9/11/2022, 1 year probation. Can you imagine a judge giving an habitual offender at this stage 1 year probation? 120 days in jail, but 113 of it suspended, so he did 7 days of jail. Violation of parole, 9/13/2022, obstruction of emergency communication, 9/19/2023, DV, 1/9/2023, 1 year probation again. They're really sick. The whole system is sick. Robbery, 2/20/2023, assault causing bodily injury, again another probation sentence. Fugitive from justice, 9/13/2023. And now paroled. Paroled 1/15/2025. Or this is 1/14/2025.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, to be honest, I have 20.
No, you don't. 20. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Do you have 20 kids?
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions. Thank you.